Hello there, it's Shoaib here with Media King again, and to pick up in this part 2 of minimal APIs with ASP.NET Core, we will begin with examining the put endpoints, and we can see here that put is used for updating the entity. And as it says, as per HTTP spec, put request requires the client to send the entire updated entity, not just the changes. So if we're updating a couple of properties, we need to send the whole entity as well. As you can see here, when we make the call, we send the entire entity. ID name is complete, and that means all of the properties, all 3 properties. If you want to do partial updates, that will be using patch. But yeah, let's begin. So what we have is the put. I think what I'm going to do is copy it. If we look at our code here, what they say is we'll use the in-memory database again. We'll pass through the ID of 1 and update the name to feed fish. So the name here. We don't have a put content, so we'll copy this. Copy, and I'm going to bring over, and then after what I'll do is I'll copy this section here. So I'll bring over my Visual Studio, and let's pick up where we left off. So just down below here, I'll paste that there. In the debug and send request, click-throughs are auto-generated for us, and then next I'm going to copy the content type and payload. So it will look very similar to the post. So let's do that there. Let's see, put. So host address, to do items ID, we'll change it to maybe 1, and then so let's just run this first and just have a look at what was item 1 again in its current state. So you see, once this populates the executable, our application will be running. So it's taking a bit of time. Not too sure if it's ready or not. Sometimes it might take slightly longer, but let's just try one of these endpoints. I'm going to try to get back item 1. That might force it to kick in. Yep, see X, it's failed because I don't think it started properly. So let's fix that. Just going to stop that there and then restart it again. Okay, so the API is running this time, and we can see the console window here, like so, with the local host and the port, etc. Now let's take a look. Yeah, let's run the item first that we will send a put request to update it. So that's item number 1. Let's have a look at that item. Well, we can see not found. Let's have a look at all items. Maybe there's no ID 1 anymore. Okay, obviously our database is in memory, so each time the application rebuilds, it gets flushed out. Or it could be when Visual Studio starts. So let's just add the items there. Let's do a post. Okay, we've added number 1 post. Let's send that again. So number 2 post. Now if we get all items, we can see all the items 1 and 2 with the same values of name and is complete. There. Now if we do that get request again to item 1, we should see it. There it is there. Now we can successfully run our put request to item 1, name feed fish, as I said, and let's set is complete to false. There we go. Not successful because a 204 is returned. Now if we call item 1 again, we'll see that the name is feed fish. And there it is. As you can see, there we go. So we've got successful put endpoint and request working as well. So let's just read the notes again. And it just tells us exactly what I've explained there. Yeah, obviously make sure there's an item in the database before making get or put calls. Now finally, what we're going to do is test the delete endpoint. We'll look at patch next time, but I think for today we'll just do the delete before we look at the type results API and map group API. So delete endpoint is used to delete a single item or entity from the database. I think we've got that endpoint there already in the code. Let's have a look. Yes, so we can see in our program.cs where we have our entry and all the endpoints. Do we have delete? Here we go, map delete. So let's just double check this matches Microsoft Swan. To the items, we pass in an ID to delete to the endpoint, then an ID as a parameter as well. And then the database instance as well. Let's see, and then yeah, so if we find it, then we know the item is true, we remove it from the database, save the changes, return a 204, again no content. Otherwise return a 404 because it's not found. So let's take a look at that in practice. We need a delete request. So let's get that there. Here we go there. Now delete is straightforward. We don't pass a body or anything. We could do, but I think according to the HTTP principles, we could just call the endpoint with our items ID at the end. So let's have a look at the items we have again before we go ahead. Save that first. Get all the items. We have 1 and 2. Let's delete 2 to iron, so we'll be left with 1 feed fish. So I'm gonna add 2 there. Save that again and call the endpoint. And there you go, 204. So that was successful as well. We can look at the request in here, headers, etc. Now if we call all the items endpoint again, we should just see item 1. There we go, feed fish. Okay, so there you have it, folks. A quick and fast way, clear cut, no messing around, to get ASP.NET core web API, minimal API up and running. We've got post requests, get requests by IDs, by status, and updates using put, as well as delete. So until next time, where we will look at, let's have a look, what did I say? Next time we can look at the map group API, and it says here, if you have groups of endpoints with a common URL prefix, the map group API is used to help organize that. So that will reduce repetitive code and allows us to customize the entire group of endpoints with a single call to methods like require authorization or with metadata, so you don't have to keep repeating this stuff. So until then, bye for now.